So this is part 2 of my success journey. Thank you for checking it out. So I found myself in the Navy at about age 19 years old, and I was a jacked up young man. Actually, I was operating from a very low sense of self-worth and self-image. I really had no strong sense of acceptance, of being loved or validated. So I was definitely what you would call a people pleaser. I had a lot of fear, social anxiety. I just never felt comfortable in my own skin. And I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. So my soul was in a really bad place. I didn't have a stable home environment growing up. My mom and dad were separated at a young age, so I was bouncing back and forth between mom and dad all throughout my early childhood, throughout my high school years, really. I would be at my dad's on the weekends, throughout my grade school years, and then once I moved to New York, at and around 7th grade, I would travel from New York to Ohio once a month to be with my dad. And so we would meet halfway. I remember in Ashtabula, Ohio, my dad would meet me halfway. I would drive with my mom. That would be like on a Friday. And then they would drive me back halfway on a Sunday, and I would meet my mom. We would do that once a month. But also, my low sense of self-image really came from, and we'll talk about it in more detail as this journey goes on. But I had a very I was abused in a very passive, aggressive manner whenever I would go to my father's on the weekends. Um, I would always find things from my belongings missing. My, my, my personal belongings were either missing or damaged or altered in some way. And it was a source of great confusion and pain to my soul that my own belongings, which were an extension of me, were always being tampered with and altered and stolen and destroyed. So that really wrecked me in a good way. That went on for years, from as young as I can remember all the way throughout my high school years. Anytime I was at my father's house, I would always return home and wonder what was going to be missing from my belongings, what was going to be damaged, what was going to be. And every time I would find something missing, damaged, altered, or destroyed. And that just wrecked my self-image. So I really felt like I could go to no one and talk to. I was afraid to. I think I mentioned it to my mother once, and that conversation went nowhere. So I was really on an island at a young age, and my belongings were an extension of myself, so I treated it as such. It wasn't something that I had the emotional stability or the strength to detach myself from. I had no relationship with God at a young age, no exposure, never heard the name of Jesus, never once was witnessed to. The only thing I can attest to really ministered to me at a young age was looking out underneath the sky in the summer months at hanging out with my brother. We would lay down on a driveway. You know how it is, you're just in the cool of the night, you're hanging out and just talking and looking up at the stars. And I just felt God was speaking to me through those stars at times. As you would look up at wonder at the stars and dream and talk and imagine great things for yourself, for your future, try to find some hope and some meaning in life there. But I just remember those stars shining down to me, speaking to me of a destiny, of a purpose, of an identity, of an image. Really of the healing that I longed for, the acceptance. Looking out there at the stars gave me assurance and hope that there were answers out there. And it was a seed in my young soul that there was an answer out there. And that was a seed actually of what I was beginning to see even at a young age. That how could a man call himself successful that doesn't have answers about the deepest things in life, such as purpose and meaning, identity, human value. It's really the first time I thought about it. So this was the state of soul that I was in when I entered the military. Throughout my high school years, I was a people pleaser. I opened up right around my sophomore, junior summer. Made some good friends and began social drinking and partying as a way to get a little bit of courage. Alcohol was involved in my life at a young age, and that's how I found courage to socialize and to open up. And so that was a false courage. That was a false sense of identity, a false sense of confidence. You can't get that twisted. If alcohol has been your means to the end of confidence, courage, and social opening up, you're still lying to yourself about the reality being. You really still don't know who you are, what you're worth. You have no foundation from which to operate from outside of some type of chemical experience to excite you and to empower you to get out of your comfort zone. There is going to be a part 3. Let's just keep this going. I am home now. I'm bringing in the chicken. God bless.